So like today, as compared to a year ago, I'm handling it 1,000 times differently.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm not my kid comes in the door and sits down at the table, and I'm not just blasting him, being like, hey, pull your head out of your ass. It's like, hey, like, I understand you're stressed. I understand you don't know the next step. It's because you're not mature and lived your life, and you may not know, but this is kind of how I see things. There's always a test around the corner to see if I'm truly moving in the right direction.
That's right.
Yep. Right on. Yep. Sweet. Good to meet you guys, man. Glad you guys are here and doing this program. It's pretty fucking mind and mood altering. I got to say though, man, like, I think Chad just said it himself perfectly, was I am completely different than I was a year ago in the fact that, like, I can automatically tell now when I'm about to get reactive.
Yep.
I can feel it. I can sense it coming in my head, and I'm just like, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't react.
Good.
Stay calm. Like, there's no reason to. And then obviously the whole like get curious thing pops in my head. Using the program, one of the big things from my past relationships and growing up is, as you guys know, when we did the course, was I was never listened to as a kid. My opinion didn't matter. I come from the era of children are seen, not heard. For me to actually express what I want and need out of a relationship is, number one, it's very difficult. And then number two, when I feel like I'm not being heard about it, then I just want to shut down and I want to react.
Mm-hmm.
It
triggers that adaptation, that schema, emotion.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's like, oh, you're not going to listen to me. You're not, my fucking wants aren't important. Well, fuck you. I'm either going to lash out and retaliate with sarcasm, with
contempt,
snide comments, with shutting down. Shutting down was my big one, obviously. But now, moments have come up where, like I said, like I'll be sitting there and, I say something and this person either gets defensive or they come back and they're like, well, yeah, but I've asked you for this and da-da-da. And I'm like, and I'm just like, I really just want to keep playing that circle game. And I just go, it's okay. I start to get curious. And, a lot of the times now, I guess I've gotten to this point where I'm like, if I'm not being heard, then I just need to move on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I just need to stop fighting and chasing it and just be comfortable with the fact that, like, you know what? Like, there may come a day when I find a woman who actually sits down and wants to hear me, or there may not. But the getting curious part, obviously, number one is like, okay, when I feel a reactivity come up, I'm like, okay, I'm curious. Why the hell am I like getting upset right now?
I'm proud of you though, man. I mean, if you're saying I'm staying committed to what I want, what I need, like I'm not settling, I'm not fawning, because you used to do a lot of that with your exes, is like, I'll be who you want me to be, but then, you would just shut down when you weren't getting what you wanted.
For that long period of time after my last relationship, when I got into this class, this program, it's basically all my thought now is like, okay, I'm not trying to like force or, I definitely want to find somebody soon and like settle down and, have a partner for life and this and that. Now it's just like, I just, if it happens, it happens. If not, I mean, I'm pretty cool. I got a shitload of toys. I got a bunch of tools. I build cool things. I got great friends. I got a great dog. Like, life's fucking good.
Right. That's like kind of what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to create a voice around this idea that, like, address the reactivity that you have, deal with your pain, stop transmitting that pain, deal with it, and especially for men, because we just have that tendency to just ignore all of it, pretend it doesn't exist. Meanwhile, we're miserable, we're depressed, we have the highest suicide rate there is, and everybody's like, why? Like, well, yeah, because we suppress the shit out of everything that's going on inside of us. We never learned how to deal with it.
The other thing that I'm coming to realize as well, and it, Devin, your journey kind of speaks to it. I mean, we're elementary school, high school. I mean, we were never taught any of these relationship dynamics. There was no course on how to move through the world and how to create good relationships and how to deal with other people. That's just not something that's taught, because why? Why would that be on the curriculum, I suppose, right? And when we get to a place like we are all at, we've figured out something's wrong and we're working on ourselves, and we are studying, because I think most of us on this in this program are also reading books and looking at YouTube videos and doing all kinds of other things to help understand ourselves and understand relationships and understand how to make ourselves better. And so we're doing the work. We're working on ourselves. I think we now have some understanding about relationships and about how we react and what might make a good relationship and all of that. My current thought is that, one of the things that being in this program has done is it's opened my eyes to reading and thinking and exploring all kinds of other aspects of relationships and how to improve them. Mm-hmm. So, I want to say that, part of what I think my issues were in our relationship may have less to do with BRP and more to do with simply invalidating my wife's feelings or thoughts. Mm-hmm. Now, does that, is the invalidation blind spot that many men have tied to BRP, or is it tied to just because we're men, or what? But I would say that regardless of where all of these different arrows in our quivers now to move forward, the understanding that there may be love languages, or the understanding that there is invalidation of their feelings or their ideas, because we just want to fix things, or that we have these reactive patterns and it's back to our childhood, whatever it is, these are all components of being better. The fact that I'm in this program, even if it turns out, and that this is maybe 30 or 40% of my problem, doesn't matter. It's still excellent that I'm in this program and that I'm thinking about it. And even if I'm pulling on other things into this to make me a better person, showing up every week and thinking about it, being here every week is fantastic. This program has been a backbone. Mm-hmm. So for what that's worth.
Like you said, it's a dual thing. Being invalidated growing up taught me that was okay to do to other people, or to bring that into my relationships, which right. I didn't know until doing all this. And so I've been on both aspects where I've definitely invalidated partners in the past. And I was kind of beside myself when I took a step back, and I was like, holy crap, like I'm actually doing this to somebody that I say that I love, and really put myself in check and say, nah, man, you got to hold yourself accountable. You did these things. And to move forward with this program and then other stuff it's literally just repetition of the stuff that I've been hearing and learning of. Like, number one is, now when a woman says, hey, what you said made me feel this way, that to me right there is it. Now, instead of triggering and going, oh, fuck, what now? Like, oh my God. Now I go, pause. Mm-hmm. And I shut my mouth and I just pause and I listen. Again, it's the practice of the stuff that I've listened to and watched and done the work. I can say, you know what? That's not really acceptable to me anymore. I value myself more, that I want this person to validate what I'm feeling or what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And that was another eye-opening thing of like, holy shit, like, you know, I never would have the balls to do that before. I would fawn, I would cower, I'd be like, oh, I'd get, you know, I'd be like, whatever, I'm just, you know, I'm going to shut down. So really it's kind of like anything else, man. It's repetition. It's over. It's practice. But
yeah, we're learning a new skill, and you go through the phases, and we're before we were unconsciously incompetent. Now we're consciously competent, and we got to go until we're unconsciously competent, and it's just like breathing. But yeah, you got to go through that.
It's just like training a new puppy, man. The puppy is not going to listen. We're going to shit everywhere. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to eat the couch, but you know,
our male brains are they're just wired differently.
That's what I relate getting a healthy mindset and being a healthy partner now. That's what I relate it to is like, it's like training a dog, man. It's like little treats here and there. It's like, okay, I validated their feelings. I get a treat.
Yeah.
You know, I stood up for myself. I get a treat. You know?
Actually, I had I guess a micro win. I'll call it. There's some cedars in the backyard that the neighbor has planted years and years ago. My wife asked me, you know, can we get a ladder? Can we trim them? And she goes, well, there's people over there right now. Don't do it now. And my former self would have said, what are you talking about? It's fine. It's on our side. We're legally allowed to do this. And I stopped myself. I didn't even have to sort of think about, you have to stop yourself. I just stopped myself and went, you know what, this is important to her. So I said, well, okay, tomorrow morning we'll do it when it's a little cooler out and when there's nobody there.
Yeah.
But the fact is, I kind of looked at myself and went, you didn't do what you would have done maybe a year ago, which is, what are you talking about?
Yep.
You know, and just gone on snipping branches, you know.
You know, I try to remind myself, you know, empathy. You know, with me, my emotions never mattered at my house. It was always secondary to my mom, you know, dealing with stress of life. So now you become what you didn't want to become without even realizing it. So now you're trying to rewire things and to be able to sit in your own shit and go, God, you know, like, you know, and I've said it before, saying it out loud, whether you say it in front of people, you know, those that you love. I was an emotionally abusive person, you know, so it's those things of being consistently mindful of the words that are coming out of your mouth, but also that, you know, you're not to be super reactive to your own emotions when you're trying to deal with somebody else's emotions. Like if a girlfriend came to me and said, oh, you know, this, and I was like, Jesus Christ, here we go again. Like I wasn't trying to do this, and this. And that's where I, you know, now back dating again after 2 years of not dating, I'm so super mindful of not getting into the same pattern I was with my last girlfriend, where to me, sometimes the reassurance stuff is exhausting. Like if I didn't pick up the phone today to text you, doesn't mean I'd stop loving you or stop caring about you. It's I'm busy. Where sometimes a woman might feel differently. And it's being mindful of that. They may need that, you may not, you know, and it's just being able to be more mindful of others than just living in your own emotional state yourself constantly. You know, and that's where, you know, for the reactive stuff for me, it was like that constant, like, you know, I'm always walking down to the ring ready to go. Like somebody wants to bring it, let's go. And now it's like, I don't want to fight. I enjoy my peace. And that's where
claim your peace. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where it's a huge thing to recognize that and know your own emotional state and realize like, you know, that dismissiveness, nothing pissed me off more in this life than somebody dismissing what I had to say or that. But then you get into that fawn mode where you're just like, what the frick's the point? And I never would have thought I was in fawn mode until you guys pointed it out when I was telling you about my last relationship.
Yeah.
not no, because it's not me. I've always been. You just get thumped on the head so many times, you just kind of give up, and that's where I think in relationships, you may not want to give up on the person, but
Got to give up on the pattern.
Correct.
I guess just what you guys were talking about, Vanessa and I have been. That's been a subject lately. Something I never would have realized before is that I needed validated or whatever. But I mean, just something as simple as trying to start a conversation and not seeming to get much back, and you know, we've learned through working together on this program about our schemas and stuff. So I just try to remember where that comes from, I guess, for Vanessa. It's hard sometimes. It's getting much easier to come back and you know, and say, hey, look, I'm sorry I get upset earlier, you know.
So that the repair that you guys are having whenever you get into a bit of a squabble, that repair is getting faster and much like more concise.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you know, I mean, it also helps that the reactivity is toned down from a 10 to, you know, a 2 or 3 now, whereas before it was just, you know, blow ups every day on one or both of our parts. As the reactivity gets toned down, it's much easier to make repairs. Plus the practice makes perfect of having those conversations. It's just pretty cool to see.
You're finding more and more ways to be connected to the reality of each other. Like Vanessa is a living embodiment of everything that she's done before today, and Josh is too. We carry this stuff with us in the form of our adaptations and our schemas and things like that. It doesn't mean that our past is our future. It means that our past is our history, and history is something to learn from. And as we learn from that, and we keep learning about how that history keeps coming up today, then the better and better and better we can get at managing that, controlling that, you know, pivoting into a different direction. Emotional safety isn't a lack of emotion. It's knowing your feelings won't wreck your relationship. Yeah. Well, good job, man. I know it's, you know, you guys are you're gonna run into things here and there. And that's fine. That's fine. It's using the skills and keep going at it.
We almost welcome it now. I mean, it gets frustrating, right?
Sure.
At times. Yeah, it's welcome, because once we find our way through it or talk it out, just that feeling of accomplishment, of, you know, especially when I look back and think where we were even just 6 months ago or longer. Just crazy, the amount of transformation and that I see in her and myself, and then us together.
So I'm still, as you know, relatively new in the program, but the stuff that I have learned, I've been trying to practice it, and I'm putting it more and more in my life, and it's working for me. So it's going well. I'm listening, not being reactive, and it's worked well with Minnie. And yeah, our conversations are going good. We're talking well, and yeah, so it's very promising. And yeah, we have a better connection now than we have in a long time. So it's really good.
Every single one of you so far tonight has said something about becoming unconsciously competent, that you're automatically not reacting the way you did a year ago. Like it's like second nature, right? I've practiced it so often that I'm doing it automatically now. And that's when transformation happens. Transformation is where you are unconsciously competent because you've gone through all of the training and you've put in the reps, and now you're just doing it and you've become it, right? It's the difference between, like, I take guitar lessons and I'm a guitar player. I just pick up a guitar and I can play. I don't need any lessons. I don't have to really think about it that much. I just pick it up and I can play because I'm a guitar player. So I have to say, like, several people on here have said that, you know, the program is working, it's helping them. But I appreciate all of you for sticking around and helping out, and, you know, giving each other insights and continuing to do the work. It's remarkable. I'm just really grateful for it. That's given that this was just an idea a year and a half ago, and now here we are.